Hey, it's Kyle with Main Street Preppers again. We just finished up a presentation to one of the local Lions clubs, and I had some questions about some of the containers behind us, and I think I'll go over these. So we're very big into shelter in place, if you've seen any of our presentations or attended any of them. And so these storage bins are in flip-top boxes. If you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of flip-top boxes. So each one is labeled with the items we have in there. So we've got hygiene and personal protection equipment. So we've got gloves, goggles, and then we've got soap and that kind of toiletry item. And then we've got light and heat, and that's going to be maybe some heat tabs, some lamps, and some flashlights and the like. And then we've got shelter and outerwear. I've got some other items on the bottom for heating and cooking. Some people notice, you might not be able to see this in the frame until I bring it down, but there's one box that says first box, and a lot of people ask about that. So most of these boxes have a lot of the same material. So for example, in light and heat, I have several lamps and several lanterns. So if we had to bug out in a hurry, we've got our go bag, which I've discussed before. You need to have some food, some water, and then maybe a change of clothes and similar in that. That's if you have to go out, absolutely have to go at the moment. Zombie apocalypse, house is on fire, whatever. So if we have a little bit more time and I'm able to grab a couple more things, one thing we have is what we call our first box. And our first box has a little bit of everything from these other boxes. So I'm going to go through these. As you know, I'm very big on prepping on a dime. A lot of these things I found either online really cheap, or I've gone to garage sales in the area. So a couple things we'll go through. Got a flashlight, of course, and then not only do I have a flashlight, but I've got a headlamp. And these are great if you are in the dark and you're trying to do something with two hands. Holding a flashlight isn't always the best, so I absolutely love these. You know, we're all big into personal protection these days. So actually I've got some gloves and some disposable nitrile gloves, and these were on sale. I found a thermal shirt that I got for $1 at a yard sale. It's my size perfectly, and so I have that in there. Don't forget that you got to have something to drink out of. These I got at the grocery store just for I think $1 or so. I've got some light sticks in here and some matches. I do have lighters, but I love having matches because you just never know. So I've got a little bit of a toolkit here with just basic tools. You're not going to try to build a home, but it's nice to have some basic tools if you have to go. First aid kit, of course, got to have that. Got to be able to wipe your nose and wipe your hands when you're finished with a meal. And then I've got some of the neat little space blankets, thermal blankets they're called. Some trash bags just in case. Gotta have soap. This is one of the little lamps I did a video in not too long ago. I absolutely love these lamps. They run on 3 AA's. They last a long time. They used to be quite inexpensive. I bought mine on one of the clearance apps online. Now they got a little bit more expensive, but I still love them nonetheless. Got some heat, so I've got some hand warmers. I bought a box of these at a yard sale for a couple dollars. As I said, most of this stuff has come from yard sales. You got to have rope, and and I have a couple stakes here because down the bottom I have a poncho and I've got a tarp. And then I've got some plasticware as well, some cookware, some sterno for heating, a sterno stove for cooking. I got this online. This is one of the few things I actually bought online, and I like this because it's solar powered and it lasts a while and it folds up easily. They are kind of expensive now because of everything that's going on, but it's still affordable, and I recommend having them. More sterno. And if you run out of matches, or if they get wet or destroyed, I love these little guys. These are little reflectors, and they have a little piece of metal that sticks out, and you can put something burnable like a sheet of paper or a cotton swab with a little bit of Vaseline, petroleum jelly on there, and point it at the sun, and it will create a fire for you, which is nice. These little emergency ponchos are great. They're very inexpensive. Duct tape. You always need duct tape. I've got a little multi-use knife that has all the tools on it. more light sticks. I have a compass. A lot of people don't know how to use compasses anymore. This is a throwback from Boy Scout days. If you don't have water you can take with you, it's nice to have something that you can use to make potable water. Another flashlight. A radio. This is not a battery, or excuse me, this is not a crank one, it's battery powered. I do have some crank ones actually still in the box. And then I got a little hatchet. And then I have a tarp. If you've seen my videos, you've probably seen the one. I do a series called The Unsung Heroes of Disaster Prep. Tarps are amazing. They do a lot of things. You can use them as ground cover. You can collect rainwater. You can use them as a shelter. Any number of uses. And then the biggest thing that I really like here, other than tarp, is if you remember these from Boy Scouts or in the military, this is a trenching tool, which I really like. And so you can set it up to make it as a hoe or a shovel, or even an axe. And I really like this. And these are all things, again, that most of the things I bought were just a few dollars at a yard sale. And I like to have them on hand. This is my first box if we had to bolt. So I hope this is helpful. Tell people there is no wrong way to do disaster prepping. You may look at this and say, I don't need this when I have this, or I don't need this when I have this. And that's okay. I tell people there's no wrong way to disaster prep. As long as you're doing something for disaster preparation, you're pretty much doing it the right way. I hope you'll follow us. We're Main Street Preppers. Have a great day. And I tell people, just because it's the apocalypse doesn't mean you have to be miserable. So always keep your favorite candy on hand.